Hello and welcome to Jamie TV. Thank you very much for watching. Today we're going to take a look at the AR-909, the fourth in Audiokit's range of limited edition apps for iOS music making. And I have a couple of codes to give away, so a little bit later on in this video I'll be telling you how you can win one of those codes. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Now, I was a beta tester for this app and I feel a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that everyone else has got their video out about it before me. The problem is that my gallbladder was trying to kill me, so I had an operation to have it removed, and while I've been in bed getting a bit of bed rest, recuperating, loads of stuff has been going on. There's new instruments that's come out that I need to do a demo of, and there's a lot of iOS music apps that have come out that I've either been a beta tester for or have been sent codes for, and I really feel that I owe these manufacturers videos as soon as possible. Everyone else is getting theirs out and I'm way behind, so I am doing my best to catch up. I'm well now, and thank you very much for all of you that have sent me the hundreds and hundreds of well wishes that I've had. So let's have another listen to the AR-909. So in 1983, out comes the TR-909, and it became one of the most classic drum machines of all time. In fact, in the 80s, a lot of drum machines and synthesizers came out which are still very much loved to this day. They featured on such big tunes that everybody still loves now. So musicians want to be able to play with those exact sounds, even though the technology's been surpassed by vastly superior technology now. It doesn't matter, people want to be able to play with those classic sounds, and the TR-909 is no exception. It's no wonder that on the iOS platform there are so many apps that feature TR-909 samples or emulations, but none of them sound as good as the AR-909. And this is not a sample based app, this is more of a drum synth. It's very tweakable and it sounds absolutely huge. It's very capable, and it uses a split screen layout which really promotes a fast and intuitive workflow. So come with me, let's have a look at it. I'll show you how it works. The first thing that you're going to notice when you open up the AR-909 is this split screen layout. We have a panel at the top and a panel at the bottom, and we have icons up here that enable me to toggle through the panels available, and the same thing at the bottom. And any of the panels can be opened at the top of the page or the bottom of the page. Each one of those panels takes up just half a screen, with the exception of the pattern screen, which if we press here can be made full screen, and we can reduce it back down here. Or when you've got the pattern screen open full, you can just go to one of these icons and go back to split screen mode. So that I can show you some things about this app and have some drums playing but be able to talk over the top of it, I'm going to go to this volume here, which is effectively your master volume, take it down a little, and then we're going to go to the pattern screen, make it full screen, and let's throw some kick drums into the mix here. Now I can adjust my tempo up here. Alright, and let's chuck some snares into there. Now one thing before I forget that a lot of people have missed about this app, you can press, hold and drag, and how cool is that? If you want to mute out one of the component parts of the drum kit, simply press this icon over here and it mutes it. And this is particularly useful for me actually as a bass player. Sometimes when I'm listening to like a busy complex groove, I might want to get rid of the busier elements of a drum pattern so that I can just maybe hear the kick and snare and hear where those real key notes need to land, and then just press again to put that drum back in. Now let me show you something here that's real clever. We have what we call advanced step entry mode. So normally with a drum machine all you get is one velocity for each drum, but if we press here what we get is 3 different available velocities, and to achieve that what we would do is if we press on one of the pads we've got a medium velocity hit. If I press it again, now we've got a loud hit, and one more time we have a very soft hit. So it would enable me to do something like this. And that just has a little more depth to it. It's just a little more human. Now, as you can see, we have the bar divided up into 1, 2, 3, 4 with these shaded in grey lines here, and we have 16 steps available. If I press over here though, we now have 32 steps available, but 16 will be fine for demonstration purposes. Now let's say if I want to copy this groove over into my next pattern, I would simply go here, press copy and paste, and there I can say continue working on the groove, maybe add a crash, add a fill in there, and if I change my mind, press here, clears the whole pattern out. So what if I want to use my drum pads and put down a groove live, as it were? Well, I'll just throw a couple of kick drums in here so I know where I am, and then we'll open up pads. In fact, no, let's have pattern open at the top, pads open at the bottom, and then press play, then record. And there you can see that's how it goes down live. Now you'll see down at the bottom of the screen we've got 16 pattern banks which we can use to jam through presets in a live type environment. So let's just go up and we'll go have a look at the fingers presets, and I particularly liked this dancehall one here, and I'm going to remember that this preset needs to be turned down a little bit. In fact, actually, while I'm thinking about it, I should just mention that the AR-909 does tend to run a little hot, and a few people who've bought it have complained about that because they've used it in AUM and it's peaking immediately. Well, it's as complicated as going to this little control here and just moving it down a little bit, and then, you know, the whole thing is resolved. Anyway, right, so let's go. We've got dancehall open. We'll open the pattern up here, and then we'll start off with pattern 1, press play, and it's good to have the pattern screen open when you do this because you can see the count running across the top like this, and then you know where you are. So you see, that's how we could use it to jam out these drums in a live setting. Now here we have a new pattern that I've been working on, which I'm going to use to show you some of the other features of the app. So let's have a look through some of the other windows. Here we have a set of drum pads. And here we have a mixer where we can adjust each individual component part of the drum kit. We can adjust the level. And we can change where the drum sits in the stereo picture with the pan control there. We can also mute out one of those instruments or solo it. Now in this panel down here, we have where the magic really lies in this particular app. Let me just have some drum pads up here at the top. Now, here's my bass drum sound. Now let's tune that up a little. Take it down, let's have a real low thumping low kick. Okay, now what you can do as well is you can take the decay down on that kick and make it really, really attacking. Or let's make it real nice and fat. Okay, now just listen to what the impulse does here. And wind it the other way. Take some decay off that. And wind it back up again so you can hear the difference. And this heat control here. This is just delightful, this. Okay, so basically you can get a whole lot of control over your kick drum sound, and similarly with the snare. Let's tune it up. Take the decay way down, throw it up, and let's take that tone down, but make it nice and crisp. See, we can just get so many sounds out of the kick and snare here. Also, what we can do, we can turn up the analog control here. And we get a much more old school kind of variety coming in the sound. We've got a shuffle control, and we've got this, which is essentially master volume, but we also have a limiter so you can balance these two controls against each other. Now, the crusher. Check this out. So as you can see, we can get all kinds of filth out of this thing as well. Now, although we don't have quite as much control over the other instruments in the drum kit, we do have this panel, which I'm going to need my mixer up here, I think. Let's just solo my rim shot. Okay, and I'll show you. We can change the tuning and decay of each of the other instruments. So if I press play, now let's tune it right up. And way down. And if I take off the decay, interestingly for me, I found the rim shot the most interesting sound in the drum kit. It's kind of opened up a whole other thing for me, that a kind of drum groove that I've never really programmed before. Audiokit asked a few musicians and producers and, general knobheads like that if we'd like to beta test the app, and if we'd like to maybe contribute some presets and patterns to the app, which of course I was over the moon to do. But when it came out and when it was actually properly released and I saw my name in the list there and the people who I'm included in that list with, and my presets and patterns are in there, I just felt so honoured and privileged to be part of it, especially seeing as how it's turned out to be such a knockout app. So I'd just like to say thank you to Matthew and Audiokit for asking me to be a part of it. Bless you. The two main points I'd really like to get across about this app are, first of all, the sound. There is nothing in terms of 909 emulations on iOS that sound anywhere near as good as this app. It sounds massive. Secondly, the design of it. The fast, easy workflow, the split screen. It's second to none in terms of drum apps on iOS. It's, as far as I'm concerned, a new and very, very clever idea. And I would love it actually if Audiokit were to make more drum machines with this layout, but maybe do a Lindrum would be very, very cool. And it's $2.99, but it won't be around forever. It is a limited edition app, so go to the App Store and buy it now, unless you'd like to try and win it in my competition. I have 2 codes to give away, and here's what I'd like you to do. I'd like you to give me a thumb up. I'd like you to make sure you've subscribed to my channel, and I'd like to make sure that you've dinged my bell. I'd like you to share this video somewhere on social media, and then simply comment down below to tell me that you've done so, and then I will let my kids randomly select a winner. So until next time, take care of yourselves, be good, and don't pissy pants about. Go buy this app now, unless you're entering my competition, and then if you don't win, buy it after that. See you later.